Hey everybody, this is Diamond, aka D. Today, we're going to be talking about Euphoria. Now, I didn't get the chance to film a video of episode 2 last week because a girl be tired. Work is crazy. But this week I am caught up. I was able to watch episode 3 yesterday. So I decided to just go ahead and share my thoughts on episode 2 and 3 in this video. I did take some notes on what I'm going to share my thoughts on because a lot has happened. Okay, so sorry, let me look at my notes. Okay, so the title of episode 2 made me laugh because it's called Stuntin' Like My Daddy, and of course, to me, I feel like it's the play off of that song and stuff. So anyway, episode 2, a lot happened in episode 2, and I was a little thrown off because it started off with Nate in his father's office looking at porn, but it wasn't normal porn. It was of his dad and his dad's sexual partners. So that kind of threw me off because as a child, I don't think I would necessarily, look at that. But, that's neither here nor there. To each their own, right? So, anyway, also, Miss Steamy, like, Mark is totally, he is saying some stuff that is just making me, it's just freaking me out just a little bit because, like, just this much. Because, I'm currently rewatching Grey's Anatomy. I'm in season 8 right now, and just seeing Mark and then seeing Eric play Nate's dad is really just two very different characters, which shows how good of an actor he is. But still, it's kind of hard for me to go from Mark to creepy Nate's dad. But again, neither here nor there. Anyway, so this episode basically was about, it focused mostly on Nate, Kat, and who else? McKay and Cassie, and of course Zendaya. But her character, we'll get back to Zendaya. Anyway, episode 2. So in episode 2, we had a lot of penis. It was a lot of penises. You had big penises, small penises. It was a lot of penises. So if you enjoy looking at penises, episode 2, was great. And it was funny because I thought, when I was watching episode 3, I was like, okay, they showed a bunch of penises in episode 2, but not about to see, a bunch more. Wrong. Episode 3, you get your fair share of penises also. Anyway, back to the episode. So, episode 2, you have Nate, and with him, we basically find out his likes, his dislikes, why he ends up dating Maddie. And I don't think it's because he loves her. It's probably, but she just fits into his little box. And because of that, he dates her. Now, I don't know. I don't think he loves her, but he is kind of obsessive over her. And I say that because throughout the episode, you see him trying to get back together with Maddie, and they end up getting back together. But in doing so, you also see him stalking I think his name was Taylor or Tyler. One of them started with a T, ended with an R. Anyway, he ends up stalking him and, going into his house and waiting for Taylor or Tyler. I think it's Tyler. Waiting for Tyler to come back home with a bat. Like very creepy. And this happens at the end of the episode. But at the end of the episode, you have Nate beating up Tyler, and when he beats him up, he's asking him, did you rape Maddie? Did you do that? Did you rape her? And Maddie basically lied, saying that she didn't remember having sex with Tyler, saying that she blacked out. But if you remember in episode 1, she initiated all of the interactions with her and Tyler. So anyway, Tyler got his butt beat, and it's kind of, that scene was just very intense to watch. So, yeah, like, Nate beat the crap out of Tyler, and that was just, it was a lot. It was a lot. This show is most definitely not for younger viewers. So then after Nate, you also have, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. You also have Kat. And so, okay, so remember in episode 1, Kat ends up losing her virginity to some dude in the basement of the party. Well, it happened, it's sad, but it ends up happening that they filmed a sex tape. Kat didn't know. So he ends up uploading it, and of course she denies it. She denies all of it, but it ended up to be her. So she tries to do damage control, and in the age that we live in, there is no such thing as damage control. Once it's on the internet, it is on the internet for life. So you just gotta do your best to be careful. Whenever, like, if you send sexual pictures to your significant other, you just gotta be careful, and hopefully it's a decent person, because what if you guys, break up or get a divorce or whatever, and then boom, your stuff is all over the internet. But anyway, she ends up getting it taken down. She went to one of the guys who was there and said, hey, get this taken care of, blah blah blah. But in the meantime, with her doing damage control, she's also being called into the principal's office, and he asked her if she participated in a sex tape, and then she plays the fat card, which I've never seen anybody really, do that. But she basically, asked the principal, like, hey, are you only asking me because I'm fat? Because the chicken sex tape is fat. Mind you, it is her. But, you don't want anybody else to know. And she said something, or Zendaya was narrating, saying something like, I feel like I'm a butcher it because I didn't write it down, but saying how 10 people on the internet that knows can somehow sometimes feel like, 100 people. Please correct me. I feel like I butchered the mess out of that quote. But it was a good quote. Watch the episode. It was really good. But yeah, she ends up getting it taken down, only for somebody to repost it on Pornhub. And it's raining here. Anyway, the original sex tape was taken down, but it ended up being reposted on Pornhub. And she looked distraught at first, but then she started reading the comments, and voila! A lot of people like her and find her attractive and think that the sex tape was great. So somehow that made her feel powerful in a way, and it looks like she's going to start doing something on Pornhub, right? We find out exactly what she starts doing in episode 3. And then also in episode 2 you have McKay and Cassie, and I don't understand their relationship. I really don't. Like, I know he's a freshman in college. I don't know if she's a senior in high school or junior. I do not know. But it's just, I don't care for the couple. Like, I watched the storyline, but I don't understand why they're together, But then I also don't understand what's going on with McKay, because I guess he's stressed out. But even then, like, Cassie was basically in this episode throwing herself at him, and he didn't want it. He was like, "Hey, I'm trying to talk to you." But then as soon as he leaves, he asks her for news, and it's like, dude, like, why you want news now when you could have had, all of this in person, but now you want me to send you news? Like, get out of here. That's all for them. And then in episode 2, what else? Also, okay, so Rue ends up, which is Zendaya's character, she ends up going to her drug dealer's house. And this moment was very intense. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope you don't, touch her or anything. Anyway, she ends up going to her drug dealer's house looking for drugs. He told her, hey, it's a bad time. You need to come back later. Well, she didn't listen. And his drug dealer came, and long story short, he ends up, like, giving Zendaya some type of drug that I don't even know the name of. Like, I should have wrote it down, but I don't know. Anyway, it effed her up. And so, but while she was basically effed up, her friend, dang, what's his name? Fizz? Is it Fizz? It's something with an F. He tries to protect her from the real, bad drug dealer. And so at the end of the day, she's effed up, and he takes her to Jules' house so Jules can watch over her. But at the end of the episode, you see that Jules ends up talking to somebody online. Turns out it's Nate, but Nate is pretending to be Tyler. So I'm not sure if he took Tyler's phone. No, it's Nate's phone. Never mind. Anyway, they end up meeting online, and boom, Jules is basically falling in love with him. Okay, so that's 2. That's my thoughts. Episode 2 was okay. Like, I'm enjoying the show, but it is not for younger. Like, I don't even think it's teenage appropriate. Like, no, like, But anyway, so then you have episode 3. Episode 3 is titled "Make You Look," and who do I want to talk about first? Okay, let's talk about Kat. So Kat ends up becoming someone who does camera work, as in, like, she covers her face, but she, like, do things on the camera. She's not having sex with anybody, but she does things on camera. And so what happened is she ended up releasing this twerk video, and it tickled my soul. I was like, oh, that's cute. But she ends up twerking, and a lot of people like it. But then somebody asked her for a picture of her feet. I was like, what the like, what? You want feet? But anyway, she took a picture. I don't know if she posted it or not. It's weird people online. Or not even weird people, just people who have their own, like, stuff that they like. I don't want pictures of feet, but some people like pictures of feet. Like, they're out there. So she's basically catering to everybody. She ends up, um, a guy really wanted to Skype her, and he said that he would pay her. So he ends up paying her for it, and that Skype session was a hot mess. Like, he had his penis out again. A lot of penis in this show. He had his penis out. It was small. It was small. And so, he was basically like telling her to talk dirty to him. But his form of that is her degrading him in a way, like telling him that he's pathetic and all this. And she was laughing. She couldn't believe that he was into it, but he was. And then he ended up paying her, I think, $200, which, hey, as long as it's not illegal, go ahead, get your money. But in this case, it is, because she's underage. So, don't get your money that way. But, yeah, so she does that. And one of my favorite scenes, the little boy, like, I keep forgetting his name. I need to look it up. The character's name. Him and the drug dealer, their scenes together, like, I love their scenes. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I could just be cool with them. Like, if I was in the show and, like, a part of that small town, like, we'll just be cool. Like, that little boy is hilarious to me. He's about his business, though. Like, he's about his money. But, like, when she transferred over her money so he can cash it, basically acting as a bank. When she really was acting as a bank, because she transferred over $200, but he only ended up giving her $160 back. And she's like, that's not how much I gave you. And he was like, banking fee, which is smart. I loved it. I thought it was great. Anyway, he already steals the show for me. Back to Cassie and McKay. I still don't understand why they're together. Other than, like, both of them are good looking people. They're both attracted to each other. But, like, other than that, what else do they have? Like, why else are they together? Again, these are young people. Sometimes you don't need more than that. Sometimes, just like you look at Nate and Maddie. Like, you have two attractive people, but that's all you have. Like, what's deeper than that? But, I mean, McKay's over here pledging. I don't know what frat he's trying to be a part of that's making you drink live fish. But that's neither here nor there. So, Cassie ended up going out of town going to spend the weekend with McKay. And, of course, they end up having sex together. And that's all they do. Like, last episode, he didn't have sex with her, but he asked her for news. This episode, I guess, he didn't want news anymore. Either way it go. I mean, we'll see. I hope we get more character development for them. Like, I really want to know why they're together. Because she seems like she really likes him, and he seems like, even though he says that he loves her, like, they both say that, but, sometimes love is like an action. I need to see more, right? Okay, so then after that, you have Maddie and Nate. So they're back together. Throughout the episode, Nate was texting Jules all episode, like, to the point where Maddie was like, who's texting you? Why are you always on your phone? And of course, he lied and said his dad, and it's like, dude, like, don't be stupid. Like, females know, when you talking to somebody else. You should have just, all Nate really had to do was turn his phone on silent. That's it. Like, she only noticed that he kept getting texts and notifications because his vibrator was on while they were driving and in the car. And it's like she would have totally overlooked it because she wouldn't have heard anything, and you could have kept your phone face down. Not saying that she wouldn't have noticed that it was face down or not, but I am saying it was stupid of you. Like, if you talking to somebody else, it's stupid. It's so stupid to have your phone on vibrate, and then you've been texting this person all day. So of course they're gonna send you texts. You with your chick. Why is your phone not on silent? Not saying that Maddie wasn't gonna find out, cause as a female, you have that gut feeling, intuition. Like, when somebody is talking to somebody else. But Nate was just being a dude, I guess. Like, stupid. Anyway, so Maddie was talking to Nate about something, and of course she noticed that he was on his phone, like, constantly. So after they got done, being intimate with one another, he went to go take a shower. She knew his password, and she went through his phone. I personally don't believe in going into somebody else's phone because, you looking for something, you will find something. Anyway, she went through his phone, and then what did she find? Boom, a whole bunch of penis photos. It was just a whole lot of penises today. I mean, in that episode. Just a lot. Anyway, so now she's thinking that he might be gay because she asked Kat about, the sexuality spectrum. Like, can somebody be completely straight? Can somebody be completely gay? That thing. So they had that conversation. But with Nate has been texting Jules all episode, acting as Tyler, and he knows that Jules is transitioning. I'm not sure if he knows Jules' name or not, cause she knows that his name is Tyler, but I'm not sure if Nate knows that her name is Jules, cause I feel like if he did, he might not be texting her, especially after, how their last meeting was. He tried to bully her. She sliced her arm, like, blood and stuff. Then you have, what else happened this episode? You have Jules and Tyler. You have that whole aspect. So, Jules is falling in love. She loves Tyler. She has never met Tyler, but people fall in love online all day, every day. So, I mean, I guess, it can happen. And so she's trying to share how she feels with Zendaya. And with Rue, when you are talking to somebody and it's new and it's fresh and you get butterflies in your stomach and you can't put your phone down. That's where she is. And, when you that single friend and you're a little bitter, you're a little salty, every time your friend on their phone is like, put your phone down because I'm right here. I'm right here. Talk to me. You can do that later, but talk to me right now. That's kind of the vibe that I was getting from Zendaya throughout the episode, but then at the end of the episode, I was wrong. Because she wasn't feeling like that. Anyway, so that's how Jules is this episode. Then you have Rue, which is Zendaya. Rue, basically was celebrating 60 days. Of course, we know that she's a liar. She has been doing drugs since she has gotten out of rehab. Now, Rue, not saying that she's not trying, she probably is trying, but she's lying to everybody, even herself. So, Jules asked her, she said, hey, you celebrating 2 weeks. You've been 2 weeks sober. False. She has not been sober. She might have gone like a day or two or maybe 3 days without being high, but nope. And it's not helping her that Jules is not giving her attention. Rue wants attention from Jules. And Jules not giving that to her, so she's been, getting high on the side. Anyway, so what happens is throughout the episode, Rue was trying to be that supportive friend, she Jules asked Rue to help her take some sexy selfies. And so I keep saying Zendaya, but Rue chose to help her take her sexy photos. And I guess it was getting too hot for her because she ended up leaving the house, which I didn't understand at first, but then we get to the end. So at the end, her and Jules end up getting into an argument because Zendaya was like, hey, Jules, don't be stupid. Don't go meet Tyler. Be safe. And then Jules was like, I've been doing this. I've been in places like this. This ain't new for me. So they get into a huge blow up. And then Rue ends up going to Jules' house because she's sad and she's crying. Which, I give it to Zendaya. I think that was a good scene. Like, her expressing how lonely she feels and how much she loves Jules and don't want Jules to fight with her and how vulnerable she is at that moment. I really enjoyed it. But then I was thrown off because Jules was hugging her and was like, oh, I love you. And Zendaya was like, well, Rue was like, I love you too. And then, boom, Rue ends up kissing Jules. And I'm like, I didn't personally see the signs. But maybe if I rewatch the episode, I'll probably see how we got here. But I was like, Rue, how did we get here? So, I don't know. Like, she could have been misplacing her feelings. But I don't know. Like, if she likes Jules, that's great. But I didn't see it. So I'm going to rewatch the episodes to see how did we get here. Because for me, I thought that was all out of left field. Also, what else happened with Rue? She had a AA meeting. She had a meeting and she lied about being sober for 60 days. But then one of the people at the meeting called her out on her BS and was like, hey, if you want some pancakes, hit me up. I was like, pancakes? I want some pancakes. Like, if you're gonna take me out for breakfast, I would love pancakes. Like, pancakes, omelets, omelets. But pancakes is good too. Like, hit up a sister for some pancakes because I would be in that joint. But other than that, at the end of the episode, she was crying and she ended up calling him for pancakes. And I was Team Rue. Yes to the pancakes, bro. Yes to the pancakes. But other than that, that's basically what happened in episode 2 and 3. I do apologize for not having episode 2 its own little entity, but life happens. But these are my thoughts. Again, I don't personally think this show is for everybody. Is it a good show? We're still only 3 episodes in, but it's different. This is different, but I'm very intrigued to see what else is going to happen this season. Like, we know some big moments are supposed to happen. Like, we know that Jules will end up meeting Nate. And we also know, well, meeting him as, well, him as Tyler and her as Jules. We know that's going to have to happen. We also know that Eric Dane and Jules, we know that is going to have to play a big part because it was a big part for me. So I'm hoping, they tie that up together. And what else? Like, I would like to see more character development a little bit for McKay and Cassie, because their relationship is just for me. So, I'm hoping to see more. Do I need to see more penises? No. But if they show more penises, I'm here for it. I look at this show, you know. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you if you watched.